you guys have fun today? Was this a good conference? Yes. All right. My name is Rosario. I'm the president of the ISACA-GHC Hartford chapter. To my left are the esteemed members and heads of your individual organizations. Alex Abramov from the New York Metro chapter. Cindy Cullen, ISSA, New Jersey. Dora Gomez, High Tech. Robert?
OWASP.
OWASP. I can barely see your head, Karl.
Yeah, Karl Dahlberg, ACFE.
Checco,
John
InfraGard.
Checco, InfraGard.
Rivela, ISSA.
You guys know these folks?
Yes.
I would hope so, right? Because they put in a lot of hours to put this together for you. They put a lot of hours to run your organization. Okay? Thank you. This is real quick and real simple. First question is, how did this conference become what it is? When was it and how was it conceived? And that goes to this gentleman here. You're going to go down the line? Okay.
Well, you should start, John. This was your child. You're the brainchild. You should start.
How was this conference conceived?
Yes.
Yes.
About 6 beers and no, actually. So InfraGard. A lot of folks in this room belong to multiple organizations. So we see them at InfraGard meetings. We see them at OWASP meetings. We see them at ISACA meetings. And we just kind of got together, a bunch of us, and said, well, we're seeing the same people everywhere. Let's see if we can do a joint meeting. It started off as simple as 2 organizations getting together, but we kind of knew more and more folks. And as we grew, we decided, well, we have to kind of be a little more organized. Having a joint meeting of 300 people really isn't a joint meeting anymore. And we decided that October, National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, was the proper place to do it. And these folks graciously accepted my offer. They didn't know what they were in for. And for the second year, so amnesia and Alzheimer's comes early for these folks. They've done it again, and so it's, I applaud you guys.
Okay, we're starting Alex. Why did ISACA New York Metro decide to join the coalition to put this show on?
Right. So I think the theme of convergence been around for a long time, whether it's a convergence of physical and logical security, etc., or information sharing, right, like ISACs, FS, LS, etc. So I think the time was ripe enough for some visionaries like Checco to understand that education and professional development of the cybersecurity professionals should be converging as well, because due to career mobility and people changing their interests and ways they apply their skill sets, people moving from audit risk, application security, forensic, etc., all the time. So we're dealing with the same community and we're serving the same community. So the idea is to present the best across all of the discipline was a great one, and we felt that ISACA New York Metropolitan needs to be part of that team, and we were early supporters last year, and we continue to be supporters this year as well. So ISACA is ISACA New York Metropolitan chapter is 3,600 members strong or so. So it's a major organization, and so I think I see a lot of faces who belong to our chapter, and I hope that this type of exchanges will continue, and then our education programs and offerings will converge. Information sharing about best practices, best speakers, will continue to be in place.
The New Jersey chapter of ISE Squared, it was a little more challenging as to whether we would be involved, since a lot of our members both live and work in New Jersey, and coming across the bridge and tunnel is not an easy thing. However, in the end, we decided to get involved because it's and actually we were involved last year as well. Because it is such a good opportunity for our members to actually be involved with all of these organizations. It expands their knowledge of the other organizations. It gives them opportunity for learning and networking, and realizing that coming to the city isn't really so terrible from New Jersey. And so I think it really is a true learning opportunity, and that's one of the major focuses of our organization, is to provide learning opportunities for our members.
Hello, I'm Dora Gomez. I'm here representing the High Technology Crime Investigation Association, HTCIA, Northeast Chapter. It is a global organization, and actually this is the first time that we are part of this coalition. I actually attended the conference last year, and I met John, and we kept in touch, and the HTCIA thought it was a good idea to get involved with this kind of coalition with, obviously with cybersecurity, because we're all here for the same goal, is to really educate, network, and really help each other out. And that's actually the goals that we have for our meeting, is for people to come together and meet other people, network, meet the speakers, learn about new technology that's out there, learn about the new trends that are going on. Keep in touch, because that's what you need when you go back to your job. You need to understand what is it that's happening, right? You need to bring that kind of value back to your company and your managers. So I'm actually on the board of the ACFE New York chapter, so I'm glad that we have the ACFE being represented as well.
My name is Schullich. I'm here representing OWASP. I think we have like 3 chapters that are involved, which is the New York Metro, the Brooklyn, and the Long Island. And I'm a chapter leader in the New York. The mission statement for the OWASP organization involves promoting application and software security, and that's why we're involved. And although we're concentrated and focused on application security, you may be familiar with the OWASP top 10. There are other aspects of security that we get involved with as well, including hardware security, software security. But we try to focus around software and application security. We have probably between the New York and the New Jersey, because I'm more familiar with New Jersey as well, 4 to 8 meetings each month, and we have sometimes between 80 to 150 people. Usually, lately we've been blowing the fire code in the number of people that we have in a meeting, and not everyone who comes to a meeting, as a matter of fact, most of the people who come to the meeting are not members of OWASP, but they come to learn. And as a matter of fact, as part of OWASP, we're required at a minimum to have 2 meetings each year that are open to the public. And actually, for our chapters, they're open to the public, and we don't charge anyone. We feed them with pizza sometimes, but it's all about learning about security. So whether you're doing application security or physical security or hardware security, that's what we're all into. Now this coalition, I don't belong to ACFE, okay? But I'm a member of every other organization. I'm an ISC member, right, for ISC Square, but for the New York chapter, New Jersey's represented. But for each of the national corporate organizations, I'm a member of each. And I know many other attendees today that belong to at least 2 or 3 or more, okay? So there's a lot of overlap, okay? So this gives an opportunity to provide education across the board, through our chapters. Maybe we'll have more chapters next year. Oh, you got one.
Karl Dahlberg, this on?
Karl Dahlberg, I represent the New Jersey Chapter Association of Certified Fraud Examiners. This is the first year the chapter's in here, though on the ISACA we're involved in last year. These days, I also met Rutgers with the Research Center, and the one theory we're going on is that fraud computer systems are the same. You're not going to have a good fraud without a good computer system. And you can do something small, but if you want to do something big, you're going to have a good computer system. And with the frauds, although you don't get into the system, once we track the dollars back and find the hole, then one of our responsibilities is to explain how it got out. So it's just the opposite of everything you hear here. You're trying to prevent it, but then when something doesn't work, well, it's easy to take it back and find the hole. And then why didn't you fix this hole? So that's where that fund begins, and one of the best things anyone wants to look at, not the Madoff case, but the case against Madoff's 2 computer programmers. And that's one thing I use in my classes for extra credit for students. I can't make them do that, but without those 2 guys, there would have been no Madoff scam at all. So getting involved here and seeing how the controls should be put in enables a fraud examiner to explain how the fraud got perpetrated in the first place.
So why did InfraGard get involved? One of the missions of InfraGard, and it's actually its main mission handed down by the Bureau, is information sharing. And that's been going on since 1997, despite what you hear from the president once in a while. Information sharing is so important, but when they talk about information sharing between public and private partnerships, that's one thing. But really, we talked about this before, information sharing amongst each other, amongst our own organizations, amongst the same companies in the same industry, different companies in the same industry, is vitally important to building robust systems. So again, we're here because we want to hear from the other groups on what they've done, and we want to teach as well.
Good computers and good fraud. It's hard to beat that, actually.
Very good computer for
Very good. That's right.
And he plugs the holes.
The best fraud.
With very good controls.
The New York Metro chapter of ISSA, unlike many of the organizations that are up here, not that I'm comparing, but our mandate isn't specific to any one particular industry vertical, any one mission insofar as mission critical infrastructure or law enforcement centric or one particular area of information security as an area of focus. Ours is one of more generality insofar as information security and audit. So when we have tracks that align with all of these different areas, it's a very good fit for us, a strong draw for us to support it. But then one thing that I may have missed it, I'm far down from the first panelist, so that someone may have said this, but in addition to the information exchange, in addition to the knowledge presentation and sharing by our presenters, it's also a great networking opportunity for the attendees here, not just to share information, but on work-related matters, but to understand and meet the folks that are in the field that are doing the same job and share the same mission as you. Maybe not from the same company, but certainly many of us have the same intent and objective. So all those things combined made it a very strong fit for us.
Thank you. Do you have any questions from the audience, from you, the members? We're up here because of you. No questions at all. Yes, ma'am.
Microsoft.
We hope.
If we are fortunate, it'll be right here again.
I thought it was the Hawaiian office.
Be so lucky. Any other questions? Any comments that you'd like to make?
I just want to get in front of this one before it's said. All right, we'll have better signage next year with room numbers. So if you've written that on your feedback form, you don't need to. Well, we got it. We're here.
All right.
We'll fix it.
Sir, question.
Can we have contact information so that if we want to join in, then we can?
Absolutely. Reach out to your respective chapter president. That's the easiest way to do it. Yes, sir.
The decks, is there a possibility to get all the decks?
Yes.
How do we do that?
If I'm correct, everyone that registered will get the email saying the decks are live at this site.
Great. Second.
Sure.
Some people were very interested in the nuts and bolts, especially the black hat sessions. Is there a thought about doing more nuts and bolts maybe next year?
We had a pre-con workshop yesterday, so
Okay.
next year we will try to expand it. We might expand it to 2 days if needed. That's when the nuts and bolts happen. Yes, ma'am. Everyone, if you hand in your CP certificate, that will get back to your respective organizations, and they will email out your certificates. Keep going. Next question. Anyone?
Are the associations looking for volunteers?
Absolutely. What a wingman.
Thank you. This only happens because people volunteer their time.
He's a plant.
It's to your benefit to get involved. You help make a difference. You guys are here today because they volunteered to make this happen. It doesn't take that much time, just a few hours a month, and everyone has a few hours a month. Think about how much time you spend sitting on the couch. Think about that. Please, just volunteer a few hours doing research, helping them out. There are various committees for each organization that we just need bodies to do this. We need the talent. When you put together a bunch of people, you can have different thoughts, different opinions, so it's valuable. Please volunteer if you can.
I'd like to add a little bit to this. There are many reasons for that, right? There are many reasons for us, and I think Peter is going to ask us maybe later on, why do we do that, right? And, there are maybe reasons why people getting involved in associations, which are changing over the time. Because, as we evolve in our careers, our needs change, and as we're getting more involved, our prospects, into what need to be done, how need to be done changes. So I got involved in ISACA a long time ago. My original mission statement is to provide good programming for our membership, that will have a good education classes and help people to grow their knowledge base, right? So this is something which is more like a civic service, right? So people like to contribute to their community and understand the needs, So later on, I founded Corporate Relations Committee. So my mission statement changed. At that point, I wanted to understand better the overall needs, not just to provide. And we start to sound all the community what you guys really want to do and how we would like to shape our programming. So that's another level of involvement, where you would be able to network with folks, with the community, and build your relationship across the board. So, and lastly, now I'm a senior leader in that chapter. My mission statement is to recruit and build future leaders. That's my main thing. That's the only thing which I'm focusing on. And that's a school of leadership. That's what people coming through when they start to serve as a volunteer, when they start to serve on the board and the committees, when they become officers and eventually presidents as well. They're learning, through this type of setup, which is not a regular corporation where it's more sometimes command and control. This is true leadership. You cannot convince anyone to do what they do not want to do. So you need to learn how to be an influencer, how to lead people, how to recruit people, and that's, transforms people in their careers, which I've seen, how people change, how they learn new skills by serving on the committees, by serving on the board. So to summarize, there are many reasons, and your involvement could be very little, like Peter said, and as big as you want. The field is fully open. Whatever you want to do, normally I don't think anyone shut down the initiative from the members and the committee members. If you'd like to contribute, it's all yours. You don't need to, be hired specifically. Just come and offer your services, and you will do well.
I'd say ditto. So I think there's actually a couple of reasons why I personally joined. So one was to develop greater skills. Just to sit up here and talk, to be a speaker, it gives you the opportunity to do things that maybe your role at a company doesn't give. It also gives you the capability to, as Alex was saying, to really build your leadership skills, and the amount of time required to is really up to you. So there's the you can choose to actually take a leadership role, president, vice president, secretary, those type of roles, or you can come up with a project of your own that you would like to get other people involved with and work on that and have the support of the association to do those type of projects, or you can get involved in existing projects like this conference. We're always looking for additional people to be involved, and even from the outside, when you come to these conferences, you don't really think, oh, this doesn't look like it's so hard to set up. But we there's a huge amount of back end work that has to be done. You
You
know,
don't want to tell them.
But it's a matter of divide and conquer. So we had the program committee, we had sponsor committee, we had facilities committees. So you can get involved in, you know, any one of those, and it's not a whole lot of time, because we do divide it into, you know, smaller chunks, because we're aware that everybody, you know, most people work full time and they don't have the time to dedicate to, you know, to another full-time job. So then I guess the other reasons that I've gotten involved is that it's great on the resume. There's no doubt about it. A lot of companies, they're looking for you to show that you're a leader in your industry, that you're not a follower. That you know, if you want a leadership role in a company, they want to know that you're a leader in the industry. And being an active member and an active leader in one of these associations, or multiple of them, gives you that leadership experience. And then last but definitely not least is the networking. You know, it's a great way to, you know, make friends, meet people, you know, find that next role. You know, and actually a lot of times it's great for getting an understanding of, you know, what type of people are working at a particular company, whether you feel that you would be able to work in their environment, to understand their environment. And so it's an excellent way to be able to glean a lot of information.
So one of the things that I do want to talk about as well is the fact that we put this together at a very, very low price. And we didn't add the .99 at the end. But I think you are not going to find any kind of conference at this level for that kind of value. And we did that so we can bring as many people together. The other thing I think that we should all do is definitely pay a visit to the vendors, because they really sponsored this conference. I think that's important to, you know, just at least stop by and talk to them. Without them, we really couldn't pull this off, even with the money that we put in from the organizations. So, you know, just stop by and say hello and thank you, because again, we wouldn't be able to do it without them. And just to kind of give you a little bit more on the HTCIA, they are global organizations. One of the things that we do, and I guess it's probably because we are high technology crime investigation association, is we have webinars as part of your membership that are training webinars, and we also actually we live stream our meetings in the Northeast chapter. So that's helpful too. If you can't make the meeting, you can always go on onto the link to listen into what's going on. I just want to mention two of the upcoming webinars. There's an introduction to penetration testing and current trends in cyber breaches. And I think some of these are out there. It's not like you have to access them at a given time. They're out there sitting there, you know, waiting for you to access them. So that's kind of helpful in this day and age when we're all busy or working from home or whatever it is. I think it's a little bit of a plus. But again, I think we're all here for the same reason. Cindy and Alex have pretty much said, you know, we're the same thing I'm going to reiterate is that we have a common goal, and it's to help bring more awareness, education to everyone, and hopefully it'll help you in your career.
I'm not sure what the question is anymore, but I think it relates to,
Just start talking.
you know, putting your time in for this, you know, for doing this work, as well as my leadership in OWASP, of why you do this. And the thing is, well, bottom line is, someone's got to do it, okay? So what do I mean by that? I'm a member of the ISSA CISO Forum. They have paid help, okay? In OWASP, we have a person who we hire that's paid help. But even and in most of the other organizations, they don't have paid help. But even with the paid help that we have, okay, in those two organizations I'm involved with, they only do administrative stuff, okay? All the other organizations, what the leaders are involved with is setting up technical programs. Why? Because that's what we do, okay? We're the technical people. We're involved with information security. We know information security, okay? We know cybersecurity. We know physical security, because part of that, one way or another, is what we do in our daily jobs. We know what we need to learn. We know what we want to promote education to our peers to help them learn. So we help to put technical programs together for people to learn, to train, to network, to provide ways of getting together. This is what we do, and this is what we need to do. There's also the other end of doing presentations. When you're doing presentations, it helps with public speaking. Yeah, it looks good on the resume. It provides good networking opportunities, good leadership skills. It helps develop, in my case, help to develop myself, okay? We also develop other leaders, okay? Because we have to make this profession, that's what we're in, a profession, move on. And without having these type of opportunities and having a professional organization, and we have many represented here, okay, this is to help the profession. And that's why we're here, to help our peers.
I suppose I go back a long ways when it comes to volunteering, back to Cub Scouts and Little League. And by the way, my hair is not white or gray, it's pearl. This is a class operation, and for a class operation, we don't have gray hair. Without repeating anything that's already been said, there's one thing I've noticed with volunteers in several organizations. You get one or two people that really want to make everything work right, and they wind up taking on too much. And then you have a problem because they can't get it done. So it's very important for others to get involved so you don't find somebody that just plain overloaded. And it's hard to take something away once a person's doing the work of 4, and then, wait, let me take this away from you. That's the real trick. Because sooner or later, that person moves on, and next thing you got a big hole in your organization. So you've got to keep a number of people involved. What's the old saying? Many hands make for light work. Because you will find these people who just plain keep taking on work because they're gluttons for punishment. And then when they move on, all of a sudden you got a big hole in your organization. So volunteering is important just to spread the work.
So why volunteer? We're all professionals here. I agree with everyone's comments before, but why volunteer? Because you're passionate about something, because you believe in something. If you believe in something and you're passionate, you will have a good product. If you're volunteering just to put in time and get hours, you will get crap. Okay? Bottom line, be passionate about it. If you're passionate about something else, volunteer there. I have to be passionate about information security, keeping our data secure. That's why I do it.
You just turn it off.
Just trying to mute myself. So, bar's open. Right?
It's about time.
Yeah. Volunteer for yourself. Volunteer for others. If I know I do it personally out of interest to better the community, but then also to better myself. So for the events that we make that are good and really good like this one, we're attendees too. We get to network. We benefit. We get to learn. So yes, absolutely, do it for all the reasons that everybody said, but do it at a personal greed too. You get smarter. It helps.
Thank you. Do we have any questions for anyone up here, please?
Yeah, before we raffle the Ferrari.
All right.
It's a very nice red Ferrari. It's brand new. It's waiting downstairs. You can turn it on. First, I'd like to say to the committee, thank you so much for your undying effort. We have some gifts for you as well. But with that said, I think John needs to stand up. Thank you so much. This guy
I'll try not to sit on it.
He worked from like 5 o'clock in the morning, we were getting emails, to maybe 3 o'clock in the morning. And there were some people that we were crazier than him. Like, he's gonna be announcing the rest of the team. But there's a woman here by the name of Yolanda Baker, who was just incredible. And we thank you so much.
Actually, can we get all the volunteers in the steering team up there for a good picture?
There's another person, Dawn Akins, I don't know if she's in the room. She was part of the OWASP team. She was an incredible asset for the team. But John, go do your thing. Talk about how wonderful these people are.
Ms. Patawa,
Come on up.
Dora, Kathy Brown, you're there already. And
Anyone else hiding out? We worked really hard.
From OWASP?
Joel, where are you, Joel? Joel is our treasurer. He's the one that keeps us sane, keeps me from spending way too much, but gives us the ability to have beer and wine.
Guy also as well, please.
Drink a lot. Haven't paid for it yet.
So we got Joel, we got Joe, we got Karl, we got Charles. We got a tripod that is. We got Robert, we got Dora, we have Cindy, Alex, Yolanda, Kathy, Mizpah, Peter, Guy, and Matthew. I mean, these guys do a phenomenal job. This wouldn't happen with just one or two people. It happens with all of us. So guys, give a bow, please.
Thank you for attending, for making this an outstanding event. We thank you for showing up.
Hold the raffle.
We really appreciate it. Go ahead, Pete.
Wait. Before he does the raffle, because I saw people walking around with both halves of that blue ticket. Okay, if you have both halves of the blue ticket, one of those halves are supposed to go into that fishbowl. Otherwise, you're not in it to win it.
They were trying to put it into a computer.
Okay, so just make sure before he pulls it out that you have at least one of your halves in there, and don't put both halves in there, or you're screwed anyway.
Twice the chance to win.
Anyone?
Okay, so just to let you know what the rules are, if you paid the special price, you got a ticket, and if you're on the steering committee like we are, we don't get the Ferrari. So, just to make you feel better. And so, we're gonna try to see who the winner is, and you have to be present to win. And if it goes beyond 3 times, I get it. Wow, we have a ticket with no name.
You don't need the name, you get the numbers.
Oh, just a number, I'm sorry, you gotta put your name in, okay. So I think they all begin the same, 827 6880. 80. That's the winner.
So what we have is a Microsoft Surface Pro, 64 gig i5 plus the keyboard plus the case. The box is
That concludes the conference. Okay, thank you all for coming out. See you next year.
You need me to take that? Oh, I was going to take it out and throw this out. I'm assuming it's somewhere near the reception.
Yeah, I've been collecting them just in case they move the box, because it's later.
Thank you.
I don't want to waste your comments.
Oh, okay.
You weren't at New York when I was there. There was a lot of food left over. And I'll be at the one next Friday.
Great event. Very well organized, good vibe. I'm from County Greenwich in New York. involved with cybersecurity. I build applications. Oh yeah, so I'm interested in homomorphic encryption and
I'm
STP
representing
as well.
OWASP, but I'm in practically all the organizations except
We're
for
the
one.
founders of STP. You know, we had a session on STP. It originally came from Vita. Yeah. Crime enforcement, crime.
Yeah, can I get a card also? Thank you.
Great, thank you very much.
lot of people don't.
I think I visited them up in Chicago. In
Oh, yes.
rural Chicago.
You
Probably.
have a card, no?
No,
I mean, we're
You have a
worldwide.
card?
I'll send you an email.
Yeah, so, no, actually, I'm
I've been doing work right now, the United Nations.
Oh, okay, very
Yeah,
good.
so we're doing human trafficking.
Oh, I know somebody who's looking into that. I can put you in touch with them. I could email it.
You go to the website.
Sure.
6 months experience, yeah, thank you.
I'll have to send you some information.